as we do have some playoff action already underway. CCBC Essex Knights taking on the Cecil College Seahawks. And the Seahawks are off to a hot start as it is 3 runs in the top of the first, no outs. Christian Church is in the batter's box right now. Mitchell Bayless is on the mound. 19 pitches so far for him. Ducks under the ball, but the strike called by the umpire as Bayless can almost taste that first out here. Showers off and on almost all day around the castle. Sun shining down on us right now, and hopefully that stays the case as Mitchell Bayless does finally get his first out of the inning. A strikeout brings Asher Friedman up into the batter's box. Bases loaded here for Cecil as they try and continue the hot start. Bayless finding the strike zone with much more consistency here as he has started this one off with 2 in a row. One a called strike, the second got Friedman holding the sword there a little bit. 0-2 to Asher as Bayless tries to get 2 outs with the ball not being put in play. And he won't get it as this one's back up the middle. Could be a 2-for-1. And it is a huge play up the middle for the Knights as they limit the damage to just 3. My goodness, what a hot start for Cecil, though. The Knights playing catch up early. Maxwell Lorena is retired to start things off in the bottom of the first. These two teams looking to edge one another out and also punch a ticket to some baseball this weekend. Game of catch-up early here for the Knights. Down 3 runs in the first. Jimmy Perez is the second batter in the lineup, and he eats one in the middle of the back. Maybe up near the head. Scary situation, but silver lining for the Knights as they get someone on here with 1 out. Eduardo Zayas coming into the batter's box now. Justin Cook in the on-deck circle. A lefty-righty matchup here for Zayas. Perez, who wore one just a moment ago, hitting from the left-handed batter's box, but he hits lefties well, so not going to move him down in the lineup, even though they're facing the left-handed pitcher for the Seahawks. And coaching staff may not want to change anything because they're owners of a 3-game winning streak coming into today's game as Zayas beats out the throw at first. Seahawks, get the lead runner, but we're trying to mirror what the Knights had in the top of the first with an inning-ending double play of their own. Zayas saw the wheels down the first base line. Will we get to see the wheels in motion headed towards second? Justin Cook. Watches a strike come through about belt high. Waits for the next one. Zayas, there he goes. Hit and run is on. Cook skies one up the right field line. First baseman has it, and it looks like he was in fair territory. It's not a 1-2-3 for the Seahawks, but it is a 0 on the big board as it's a hot start for them in the first. Mitchell Bales did not have the start to the game that he wanted, but he can put it behind him as the first is over and the second has now begun. Treat it like a brand new game. Mitchell comes to the plate, just misses the zone on a big breaker to Ben Campbell. Campbell hitting from the 9 spot in the lineup, so the top of the lineup is right around the corner for the Seahawks. Bale's in danger of losing him here. Big pop on the mitt as he finds the strike zone. Looking to battle back, 3-1. And he wears it. And the way that ball ricocheted off of the Seahawks player, I'm imagining that hit the elbow guard. Tough start in the second for the Knights. Cooper Stala. Leadoff man for the Seahawks, batting for a second straight inning. Bales makes a good quality throw back to first, but he wasn't leaning in the wrong direction. And that one's to the wrong side of the bag for the Seahawks, down the third base line. Early 0-1 hole. Three runs in the first, all with no outs. But Bales was able to quickly get out of the jam. He got the strikeout, and then his boys behind him hooked him up with a 2-for-1 special. Certainly not the start to the game that the Knights were looking for, but it really could have been much worse. Backs were firmly pressed up against the wall, in and out of the jam. Hope still very much alive in this game in a manageable spot. Light rain starting to come down once again here at the Castle. Sun is shining though, as earlier today we had a lot of dark storm clouds. Was wondering if this game would be pushed back or to a different day, but now the sun is shining. Ready for some playoff action here as that one fought off. There's one, and now two. 2 straight innings with a double play for the Knights. This one starting as Bailey takes the grounder over to third, moves it to second, and then over to first for the 1-2. Mitchell Bales trying to get out of the second, facing the minimum. He's got to deal with Chris Woods, who's 1 for 1. The rain a little bit more consistent here as Woods steps into the batter's box. Bales can hear the cheers, not only from the fans, but his teammates behind him. A double play just minutes ago for the Knights, a real momentum-stealing play. Seahawks get the leadoff man on, but quickly he's erased. And now quickly we may be out of the inning as that one's up the elevator chute. Bailey wants it, and he's got it. It's a 1-2-3 for the Knights. And most importantly, a 0 on the board as they will look to get their first run when we come back. Quick work for Chris Woods in the first. He only threw 7 pitches, faced 4 batters. And now he is dealing with Connor Bailey to start the bottom of the second. 5, 6, 7 is due up here for the Knights. That's Bailey, Castillo, and Hartman. Knights searching for their first run. Trying to take some early steps on the comeback trail as they're down 3 runs early in this win or go home playoff matchup. 4-5. Knights with the 4 next to their name. Why they're hosting the matchup here today. But they'll have to hit the road on the weekend if they're able to get the win. And he started to see the swing begin, but cooler heads prevail as he realizes that one's out of the zone. Bailey, I'm sure, got the take sign on. And that's been wiped away now. Big pop on the mitt from Woods. Lefty-righty matchup. Dealing with the Knights' third baseman. And putting him on first base. 2 straight innings with the Knights getting someone on. And they move him into scoring position this time. Rafael Castillo DHing in the game today. William Hartman, the Knights catcher, now in the on-deck circle. Castillo starts off in the 0-1 hole. Big breaker from the left side of the rubber there to the right-handed hitting Castillo. If he sees that again and times it up well, it could work out in his favor as that one bounces over the glove of the second baseman. Everyone's safe. It'll be interesting to see how they score that one because the second baseman dove in on it to try and catch it in the air. And because he dove in on it like that, it just took a bounce under and over the glove. Or I should say right in front and then over the glove. Tough break there for the Seahawks. Good break if you're the Knights players, coaches, or fans, and that is officially being scored as a single to second base. Castillo gets credit for the infield hit. Pitcher Woods steps off, wants to throw back to second, but you saw there no one covering the bag. And now the bunt being placed down. It is a very good bunt. Everyone's safe, and everyone's moving up one more. A tremendous bunt from the catcher, William Hartman. The third baseman for the Seahawks had to make a strong throw across his body. Friedman, he made the throw, but it bounced in and out of the glove of the third baseman. Friedman with the strong throw, but Weaver with the good stretch, but could not squeeze the glove. So what was supposed to be a sacrifice bunt for Hartman ends up being a bunt single. And the Knights are able to grab a run on the error. And they're bunting once again. Another good bunt. This one back to the pitcher, and they cannot grab the out at the plate. Everyone's moving up one. Tying run now 90 feet away for the Knights. So William Hartman did not get credit for a bunt single. He said he reached base on the sacrifice bunt and then was able to reach base safely on the error. Sure, it'll be the same thing for Holland that we just saw a moment ago. My goodness, this game is back and forth to start. breaks of the game finally going the Knights' way. They're trying to make it a very, very productive inning. 3-2 is the score now. And there's still no outs in the inning. The Knights have tried for 2 separate sacrifice bunts. But the baseball gods have smiled on them both times. And instead, it was no sacrifice. They got the free pass, so to speak, and a run came on. My goodness. Blink and you missed it. 2 bunts that were meant to be outs score runs for the Knights. And now, tying run 90 feet away with the bases loaded and no outs. And oh, by the way, top of the lineup is here. Brody Carroll just worked the walk. Coaching staff looks at the 7, 8, and 9 part of the lineup and asks 2 of those 3 gentlemen to bunt. And they still end up getting their way on. My goodness, what a turn here in the second for the Knights. Back up the middle. And they won't get any, as it's a great play to get to the ball, but cannot secure an out. A run comes around for the Knights, and we are tied now. My goodness, I hope you didn't choose the bottom of the second as your inning to go make an early dinner. Because if you did, you have missed a lot of excitement here. Certainly not for lack of trying. The Knights just trying to do their part, trying to play small ball, trying to play their game, but the Seahawks shooting a couple of toes off here in the second, and it's cost them the lead as this game is now tied at 3, and we've got a meeting of the minds on the hill. Talked amongst ourselves after the 3 runs were scored in the first. Kind of had a feeling that this would be a teeter-totter game that would kind of come down to the end. I don't think anybody had this on their bingo card, though. The Knights coming all the way back so quickly. And that ball we saw hit by Maxwell Urena, the only ball that was really hit hard in this inning. Right back up the middle. Never left the infield, but still worked out for the Knights. They've had 2 hits in this inning, but both of them have been infield hits. Yet to touch the high grass, so to speak, but it is working out for the Knights. 3-0, and still no outs in the inning. Jimmy Perez, he wore one in his first at-bat. Looking to get his swings in here. Second time around, wants to find something he can elevate. The dugout has come alive for the Knights in a big way. They see what's in front of them. Potential big inning. Chance to get out in front for the first time. Perez, he does find one he can elevate, but it goes foul. Perez got under that one. And that one is out of the zone. 2-2 count now to Perez. In the middle of a battle. Who's going to blink first? And Perez sends one into the gap, and the center fielder traps it Does not make the catch. He did make the catch. They tagged up at third. What a catch from the center fielder. I thought he had trapped that one as it hit the ball or hit the ground in front of him, but my goodness. What a job of getting the glove underneath of that. Center fielder Stala takes a hit away from Perez and maybe an extra RBI. Perez does still get an RBI on the sacrifice fly, but with Holland and Carroll over there at first and second, ready to move on contact as well. And everyone's safe. Shortstop needed a perfect throw. Couldn't get the transfer down on a ball that died in the infield grass. Seahawks needed 2 straight tremendous defensive plays. Couldn't find them. Man, that play by Stala, a huge what could have been moment. I thought it was a great play just to trap it and keep the runners from advancing any further. No, an early web gem moment for the Seahawks as the second inning has not gone their way. They've surrendered 4 runs already, and the bases are loaded for the second time. They have at least taken their first step in getting out of this inning. Zayas got credit for a hit on that ball that died in the infield. Justin Cook is in the batter's box right now, and he is retired on a pop-up behind the plate. He got under it, and the catcher had just enough time to chase that one down. And now the Seahawks can see the light at the end of the tunnel here in this inning. Got to deal with Connor Bailey. 2 outs. Bases still loaded. 4-3 game. Chris Woods threw 7 pitches in the first inning. And that pitch we saw just a second ago was his 33rd now. A lot more wear and tear on the arm in the second as the Knights putting together productive at-bats, putting the ball in play, making the Seahawks make the play defensively. And that has been a tough go-around in this inning. A catch in center field by Stala, maybe finally bringing that trend to an end for the Seahawks. Saw 2 bunt attempts for the Knights in this inning that were meant to be sacrifice bunts. But sometimes you put it in play and good things happen, and the Knights living proof of that right now in the second. With a brand new ball game, 4-3 now on the big board. Connor Bailey looking to keep the second alive. And it is a called strike. It was actually a 3-1 count to Bailey, but now it is a full count. Payoff pitch here from Woods. Everyone's running. Bailey slapping one foul. Another payoff pitch coming up. Bailey puts it in play, hits it in through the hole. 2 runs have come in to score. And Zayas goes first to third. He's going to the plate as they hold it a little, and he scores. It's a bases clearing single for, my goodness. What a game, Connor Bailey. He comes up huge for his team. 3 RBIs for the Knights' third baseman. My goodness. What a second inning. And it may continue as that one touches. And it was foul. Just foul. Oh, so close. My, oh my, was that close. No one knows it more than the man taking a long walk back to the batter's box. Rafael Castillo was ready to take a look at third as he was already at second by the time he realized that ball was foul. Castillo getting to take some swings off Woods again. As the Knights have successfully batted around in this inning. Remember, Castillo has a single already in the 7th. Or in the 2nd, excuse me. He's part of the 7 runs that the Knights have scored in the 2nd. As this action, I gotta be honest, so shocking. When it rains, it pours, and right now it's pouring on the Seahawks. It is a tough break in the 2nd. They have got a mountain of a comeback in front of them now. 3 runs in the 1st, quickly erased here in the 2nd. Woods steps off. He's had to deal with the bases loaded twice in this inning. Now he's just dealing with someone at second, Bailey. And Castillo, you could see, was looking to put a charge into that one. It was 3-1, now it's 3-2. Another payoff pitch. And Castillo tinks one down the third base line. He'll get to see one more. Just now starting to see some warm-up action take place in the bullpen for the Seahawks. And Castillo goes down on strikes, chasing the high one. 7 runs in the 2nd for the Knights. They are looking to roll that momentum right into the 3rd as it's now their game. as the third inning is about to start. Let's go over some hitting numbers for the Knights. Through 2 innings with 2 outs, the Knights are 1 for 3. With runners on, the Knights are 4 for 10. With runners in scoring position, the Knights are 3 for 7. And with runners on and less than 2 outs, the Knights are 3 for 5. And here's the big kicker. With the bases loaded, the Knights batting .500 right now, 2 for 4. A hot start as the Knights' bats come alive in the second, but the Seahawks trying to answer here in the third as it's a leadoff double. He's thinking 3, and he's going to be in there standing. A rope off the bat of Tyler Berger into right center. And an answering run is now 90 feet away with no outs. Remember a couple minutes ago when we said we were talking during the game how we knew it was going to be back and forth and it was going to come to the end? Well, again, we didn't know it was going to be like this. My goodness. You watch teams in these games all season long. You get a feel for the teams. You get a feel for the action and how it's going to unfold. Well, I don't think anyone had this one on their bingo card. 7 runs for the Knights in the second, but the Seahawks quickly trying to answer. Justin Weaver 1 for 1 with an RBI. His second RBI of the game is potentially 90 feet away. No outs in the inning. Bales trying to ignore that runner that he sees every time he comes complete and comes set. And the man is at third, of course, but the battle is with the man at the plate. Bales earlier in this game got a huge strikeout and led to an inning-ending double play. Certainly not there just yet in the third, but if he can find his second strikeout, certainly bring a little sigh of relief. Now he walks him, so maybe he is thinking about the double play now. Won't be an inning-ending double play, but with the Knights up 4 runs, they would trade a run for 2 outs. That seems like a pretty good trade from where they're sitting. With all the game left in this one, the Seahawks may even be willing to make that trade because they need to find runs any which way they can. Runners at the corners with no outs. In the top of the third, Franco Raposo is 1 for 1 with an RBI. And the infield is coming to talk to their pitcher. They were on the grass, or at least the corners of the infield were on the edges of the grass, ready to nab that runner at the plate if it comes down to it. Let's see what the strategy is when the meeting of the minds is over. Warm-up action taking place in the bullpen for the Seahawks. That is concluded. We'll probably see a new pitcher when it's time for them to take the field again. Ball put in play. Perez tracking it. It's in foul territory, and he runs out of real estate. That ball was hanging up in the air. Perez was hoping he could make the spectacular happen. Tarp was over there. So was the fence. The battle continues for Raposo. What a pitch from Bales there. He has broken off a couple of beauties. Looking for his second strikeout here. The 1-2. That one put in play, a much easier play for Perez. Throw to the plate is not in time. Good throw by Perez. It was on a line, but it just ran out of steam at the last second. Sacrifice RBI for Raposo. Runner at first stays put. Gio Malasala is 0 for 1 with an RBI. He's looking for something he can elevate as the middle of the infield now at double play depth. And he didn't get the bat down. That tinked off the bat. How many times do you see that every year at this level? That is a learning, coachable moment. The ball was up over his head, but he did not lower the bat. And it didn't hit his head, but it did hit his bat. And luckily for him, it didn't go in fair play. So a give-me strike given to the Knights there. As Gio is down to his last strike, 1 for 2. Or 1-2 is the count, excuse me. And Gio fights it off into play, and Zayas just gets to it in time. Throw back to first is... oh, not in time! It may have actually indeed been in time, but it bounced out of the glove of Justin Cook. But heads up play from Zayas. That was a line drive into right center, and he got a great jump on it. Made a strong throw back to first, but was not able to double off the runner. So 2 loud outs off the bats of the Seahawks, as they have gotten this game back to a manageable spot, just down 3 runs. And a whole mess of game left between these two teams. Christian Church is 0 for 1. He went down on strikes in his first at-bat. It's down in an early 0-1 hole. And now it's an 0-2 hole, as Bales is looking to end the inning on the strikeout. Two outs, runner at first. Bales the pitch, and it is out of play. Bales has done a really good job of regrouping and finding his groove after giving up those early 3 runs. Even in this inning in the third, doing a tremendous job of pitching around the damage. Surrendered that lead-off triple, but he has been battling every Seahawks batter he's faced since then. Even with that lead-off triple, the Seahawks dug out relatively quiet in the third. Knights keeping some distance between themselves and the Seahawks in this round 1 matchup. Winner go home. And Bales, after getting 2 early strikes on Church, is falling into a tough spot. The pitch, the swing, and is that out of play? It is. Takes a bounce off of the cage as Hartman thought he had it, trying to track it all the way into the glove. And it takes a good bounce for the Seahawks. Church, he has earned the right to see one more. What does Bales show him? Third inning drags on. For how much longer here in the top half of the frame? And that's a tough play. What a catch! Climbing to the top of the ladder and bringing the ball down with him. Maxwell Urena tracked that one perfectly off the bat and caught it in shallow right field. A huge third out for the Knights. But a run does go up there on the big board for the Seahawks. They take their first step on the comeback trail. Now they're asking for a 0. All right, the bottom of the third is just moments away from beginning. We still have some warm-up action in the bullpen. That came to a stop about halfway through the top of the third. Thought we were going to see a new pitcher start thinking in the bottom of the third for the Seahawks. But Chris Woods still out there. How short is his leash, though, as he's got a comrade warming up in the bullpen. William Hartman skies one into left field for out number 1. And a loud out off the bat of the Knights catcher. Got a piece of it, but not enough. Hartman, the leadoff man in this inning, and he is hitting from the 7th spot in the lineup, so it is 7, 8, 9. Very interesting part of the lineup as William Hartman and Ethan Holland, who we see now in the batter's box, they were both asked to lay down sacrifice bunts for their team in the second inning. They laid down good bunts, perfect bunts, but they didn't hear the sacrifice part. They ended up getting themselves on and eventually getting themselves over. And one of their boys brought him in. 7 runs in the second inning. And the Knights have played small ball all year long. That is their MO. Get them on, get them over, get them in any way you can. Things have worked out in their favor early on here in this game. Part of what made that second inning so interesting is it was a long ways in that inning before the Knights even put one into the outfield. They had 2 runs or 2 hits in that inning that were infield hits. Stringing together hits, getting guys on, and doing it any way they can. As we see Holland reach base safely once again, this time on the walk, Brody Carroll, the number 9 hitter. He walked in his first at-bat. And Holland will take second as that gets away from the first baseman, Weaver. And for a second straight inning, the Knights have someone in scoring position. Tough break again for the Seahawks first baseman, Weaver. He had one not go his way in the second, part of why that inning went so right for the Knights. Because, yes, as great as those bunts were from Holland and Hartman, still had to have someone not get the job done on the other side of that. That is the flip side of that coin. You lay down the sacrifice bunt and get yourself on. Well, that means somebody made an error somewhere. A couple errors made in the second for the Seahawks. Is that going to be the difference in this game? Each team has committed at least one error. The extra errors for the Seahawks may be potentially the difference in the game. At least right now it is. 3 errors on their side and only 1 for the Knights. As we see a long battle with Carroll. And he goes down on strikes. A beauty of a pitch from Woods. And that is a big second out in the third. Top of the lineup is here for the Knights, Maxwell Urena. 1 for 2, and I'm sure he's floating right now after making that big catch defensively in the top half of the inning. He's floating his way right into the batter's box. A chance to hit with ducks on the pond. A runner in scoring position. And a very fast runner, Holland, leaning towards third. Got caught leaning just a bit, but he's quick enough to get back to second just in time. And now the battle at the plate is underway. Urena swinging at the first pitch he sees. Cannot make contact. Swing and a miss, 0-1 count. And that one brings the catcher up and out of his crouch. He is able to save the ball from getting past him, though. Holland stays there at second, and the count moves to 1-1 now. Who's going to grab the advantage? Holland moving for third. The hit and run is on, and there's no throw to third. That was a perfect break from Ethan Holland. He was dancing at second base for a minute. Finally, he broke over to third. Another run 90 feet away. Can Maxwell bring him in? Ball put in play. Right fielder is there. And that's the third out in the inning. It is a 0 on the board for the Seahawks. They're looking to take another step on the comeback trail as the Knights are still up in this one. Bales is out there ready to start things again in the fourth. He has thrown 62 pitches so far. That one we saw not find the zone. That was his 63rd on the day. Number 64 brings a big pop on the mitt, as Bales is working against Asher Friedman for the second time today. 59% of Bales' pitches have gone for strikes. He's faced 16 batters. He's gotten 2 ground ball outs, 4 fly ball outs. And the leadoff man has been a little bit of an issue. 3 for 3 the leadoff man is for the Seahawks today. As Bales tries to reverse that trend. Got him holding the sword! And that trend finally does come to an end as Bales gets his second strikeout of the day. Asher Friedman tosses the baton down to his friend Campbell. And he's first pitch swinging back up the middle, as the Knights will switch their focus to a potential inning-ending double play now with Campbell at second. Got to deal with the top of the lineup though, as Cooper Stala is back in the batter's box. Stala looking for something he can elevate. Does not want to hit something on the ground and give the Knights that inning-ending double play ball that they are searching and hoping for. Knights have gotten 2 double plays already here today. Looking for a third and almost finding it there, as it's a chopper down the third base line, but foul. Warm-up action still taking place in the bullpen for the Seahawks. The Woods got the 0 in the bottom of the third. Will we see him again in the bottom of the fourth? There goes the runner, breaking to second. Strong throw, but an even better jump as Campbell beats the throw by a half a step. And Hartman got a good pop, and that was a missile out of his hand. But Campbell runs well. Showing off the wheels. Runner in scoring position now, 2 outs. Stala staying alive as he fouls one down the first base line off the top of the dugout. Seahawks looking for some 2-out magic. Throw back to second, and he was leaning, but he got back just in time. Good heads-up pickoff move executed by Bales and Urena. Good dive back from Campbell, and the battle will continue at the plate. I believe it is 1-2 to Stala. Stala loud off the bat, but carrying out of play again down the right field line. The weather has taken another bit of a turn in this game, as it's a little breezy and now a little chilly here at the Castle. Certainly take that over the rain clouds, but as we look out in the distance, some dark clouds headed our way. Dugout is loud now for the Seahawks. Trying to take another step on the comeback trail. Bales has other plans. And, oh my, what a beauty of a pitch. But it does not fall through the strike zone. Cooper Stala battles all the way back, and he takes his base. Dugout was ready to come alive on the night side as Bales broke off a beauty of a pitch. And its first pitch swinging. Holland is in on it just in the nick of time. Now there's 2 outs in the inning. That one was dying and dying very quickly, but Holland read it well, broke on it even better, secured the out for his team. Mitchell Bales dealing with 2 runners on. Potential tying run at the plate in Tyler Berger. Berger tripled in his last at-bat. This at-bat, very interesting. And the defense out in the outfield has made the adjustment as his triple was in towards the right center field gap. He went with the pitch on the outside. If he gets something on the inside, there is a lot of space in the left center gap now. Does Bales pitch him appropriately? And he's looking to find that left center gap, but it's too high up the elevator shaft as Ethan Holland gets to it in time. And it's a 0 on the board for the Knights, but not for lack of trying as the Seahawks get 2 on, but strand them. So Chris Woods' day is not done. He is going to stay on as a DH. He was doing a Shohei Ohtani impression, and now he's just doing half of an Ohtani impression. Pitching now is number 4, Colin Broche. Colin has 3 wins on the year. He has started 9 games. This is his 16th appearance, and he's gotten through 38 innings of work. He's got 67 strikeouts on the year. Broche, we heard the pop on the mitt when he was warming up, and he comes into this game in a very interesting spot for the Seahawks. Down 3, and we are in the 4th inning, the bottom of the 4th, so those later frames just right around the corner. These two teams, it's not a doubleheader today, so we're going to see a full 9 innings. Usually when they have played this year, it's been a doubleheader between these two teams, so it's just been 7 innings, and the fourth, I always say on those 7-inning games, is the sandwich inning. Not the case here today. We're playing a full 9, and Jimmy Perez is getting to see the first look at Broche. Perez sends one deep into left, and it's into the glove of the left fielder for the Seahawks, out number 1. Tyler Berger tracked that one well as Perez got a little underneath of it. Eduardo Zayas is 1 for 2, and he is stepping into the batter's box now. Zayas, one of a handful of players on both teams who have made nice defensive plays, as we have seen some leather flashed all around the diamond. Zayas had a line drive that caught him very quickly out there in right field, but he got to the ball lickety-split. Trying to come up with a big hit for the Knights as they are looking to make this game no longer a save situation. Put some more distance between themselves and the Seahawks. Zayas down to his last strike. And that one bounces on the plate. Zayas trying to beat it out. That's 2 quick outs for the Seahawks. And 1 loud off the bat of Jimmy Perez, and 1 not so much off the bat of Eduardo Zayas. So Colin Broche, he'd love more of the latter in his battle with Justin Cook. When it's loud off the bat, I always imagine the heart drops almost immediately as a pitcher. And you turn around and, oh, he's in the perfect spot. Thank God. Pitchers living and dying on every hit, every pitch. Such a tough job. I was always amazed when I played baseball with the kids who wanted to pitch, who didn't pitch, but they always wanted to pitch. I was like, no, I don't want to be up there. I like this spot out there in the grass. There is one that just finds the strike zone. Justin Cook probably had the take sign on there. And he'll take his base on the next one. Loud pop on the mitt. You saw Cook's hands start to come forward just a bit. Even on a 3-1 count, you see a high pitch like that. How do you not get excited as a hitter? If it's high, let it fly. Cooler heads prevail. Cook realizing that one way too high. Cook tosses it down to Bailey, who is 1 for 1, and he has a whole mess of RBIs. He cleared the bases with an RBI single, was able to eventually take second on a throw to the plate, but the damage already done. Bailey's bases clearing single, really the difference maker in the game right now as the Knights find themselves up 3 runs. Bailey, little helicopter swing there as it wraps over the head. And into the glove of the second baseman for the Seahawks. 3 quick outs as Broche pitches around the walk. And it is a 0 on the big board for the Seahawks. They got what they asked for defensively. Can they find the rhythm offensively now? Down 3. And the 5th inning is now underway. Mitchell Bales is still out there. He just threw his 80th pitch on the day. He's given up 4 runs through those 4 innings. Also surrendered 4 walks, or issued 4 walks. He's gotten 2 strikeouts, so his K to walk numbers aren't exactly where he wanted them to be, and I'm sure he certainly surrendered a few more runs than he wanted to. But he has gotten the job done when it mattered most, as his team is still out in front. And Bales has done a really good job pitching out of a few jams and making sure that his team stays out in front. Of course, no jam bigger than the bases loaded jam that he pitched out of in the first to keep this still a manageable game, as the Knights are up 3 right now, but they were down 3 at the start of the game. Seahawks scored 3 runs in the top of the first, but the Knights didn't let it bother them one bit. Carroll makes the catch at second. Urena wanted it, I think, but Carroll took it away from him, and he gives the my bad over to his teammate. The conversations between a shortstop and a second baseman, always funny. Got to be in sync, got to be a unit, but got to have fun out there too. Franco Raposo is 1 for 2 with 2 RBIs. He starts off in an early 0-1 hole. Raposo ropes that one into left field as Perez gets it into his glove on the hop. It's a 1-out single for Raposo, who's got 2 hits now. Raposo's got a fun batting stance. Watch him hit for this Seahawks team. Kind of reminds me of Lance Berkman or Jeff Bagwell. He's deep in the crouch from the right-handed batter's box, but still in an athletic stance. Able to generate the power from the legs, clearly. Ropes that one deep into left. Perez was on it quickly, and they got that bunt down somehow. Down the third baseline, and it just goes foul. Kind of bunted that one out of self-preservation as it was coming in towards the body. He kind of helicoptered that bunt down. I'd like to see him do that one again. That was a Circus Olay trick. Hand-eye coordination from the gentleman in the batter's box is always something special. When you see those plays where you watch a guy get the bat on the ball in a really tough spot, whether it's slapping a single somewhere or just fighting off a tough pitch that's too close to take. Always marvel at the hand-eye coordination that some of these guys have. It's a true skill. I'm sure it's why some of these guys are killers in Mario Kart as well. Up and out of play as Gio Malasala is 0 for 2, searching for his first hit. Does have an RBI today, though. He's really searching for something he can elevate. Does not want to go down on the double play, and he will not, as he skies one into the glove of the right fielder, Eduardo Zayas. And now we see some back and forth between the right fielder and the center fielder. Maybe Holland wanted it, and Zayas took it away from him. The center fielder, the shortstop, of course, of the outfield. All fun and games, just like we saw between Carroll and Urena. What a pitch. Bales. My goodness, he is another pitcher from the first inning. It is he's molted and become another man. As that one, a little bloop single into left field as it just finds the hole in between second and third. Bales will have to prove once again he's another man, as his back is up against the wall for what feels like the third or fourth time. He has done a great job of pitching in and out of these jams. One more jam for him to get out of, and he catches him leaning. He erases a run. My goodness. Asher Friedman will still be the batter when the Seahawks come back up. But just like that, the inning's over. In and out of the jam once again, the Knights are still up. We had 11 runs between these two teams through 3 innings, and now we have had almost 2 straight innings of nothing but zeros. The pitching and the defense taking over in this game potentially. Now we've still got the bottom half of the 5th to deal with, but of course the Seahawks desperately searching for a second straight zero. Castillo is 1 for 2. Went down on strikes and had an infield single to the second baseman. So he wants something that he can send deep into the outfield this time. Castillo, we've watched him leave the ballpark here at the Castle. He has certainly got some power in the bat. Castillo maybe chasing one out of the zone that time, and he goes down on strikes for the second time today. Said Broche was the strikeout specialist for this Seahawks team coming out of the bullpen. And we're seeing that early. Broche, through 1 1/3 of work so far, already has 2 strikeouts. Dealing with William Hartman, at least we think he's dealing with William Hartman right now. We have a meeting of the minds behind home plate as head coach O'Connell comes out to talk with the umpire. What about? We'll never know. At least not right now, we won't. Probably find out after the game. Still a light breeze here at the Castle, but the weather not nearly as chilly as it was about 30 minutes ago, and those dark storm clouds that we saw heading in our direction, well, thankfully, somebody erased those. Nothing but blue skies and the sun shining on this game, on these fans, on these players, and oh my, what a pitch. We talked about it before the game. We felt like the action was going to come down to the end, and the Seahawks are hoping that's the case as they need to walk the comeback trail, and they've still got some game left. But we're running out of outs in this one. The 6th inning is now just 1 out away as the Knights are down to their last out in the bottom of the 5th. Broche, 2 straight strikeouts. And with the 6th inning just around the corner for the Seahawks, that means they are down to their last 12 outs. They have to take 3 more steps on the comeback trail if they want to at least get this game back to even, as it is a 7-4 game right now. Seahawks looking to paint the corner 1 or 2 more times in this inning and finish off the 5th with a 0. Ethan Holland is trying to make it at least a little bit of a longer inning here. And he is unable to do that as it is 3 straight strikeouts for the Seahawks in the 5th. A 1-2-3 and the 0 that they were looking for. Asher Friedman is still in the batter's box. He ended the 5th inning right where he starts the 6th, as Bales was able to catch a runner leaning over there at second on a strong pickoff move. That was the 3rd and final out of the top half of the 5th. It was just another tremendous defensive moment in this game, as we have seen both teams flash the leather all over the diamond. Knight's middle of the infield has come up big with 2 double play balls. Maxwell Urena had that diving play out in short right field. And of course, Cooper Stala, the center fielder for the Seahawks, with a sliding catch right in front of us. The action has been spectacular in this game. The drama building as Carroll makes a strong throw across the diamond for out number 1. He got to it in the hole, trapped it, and made a good throw to his friend Justin Cook, standing at first base. Ground ball with eyes off the bat of the Seahawks leadoff man. Leadoff man in this inning, of course, Asher Friedman, actually hitting from the 8th spot, as now it is the number 9 hitter, Ben Campbell, who's 1 for 1. Top of the lineup is right around the corner for the Seahawks. Desperately trying to take another step on the comeback trail, trying to not leave it all to the final 3 innings. Started the 6th inning down to their last 12 outs. Well, make it 11. And Campbell with a big swing, as he was looking to elevate that one up and out of the castle. Couldn't make contact. Bales looking for his 3rd strikeout. Here's the 1-2, and it bounces to the plate, and it'll move to 2-2. Imagine this will be the final inning of work for Mitchell Bales, as he is sitting on 96 pitches right now. That actually was his 100th we saw a moment ago. And 101 is strikeout number 3. And now there are 2 outs in the inning. And Mitchell Bales is almost through 6 innings of work. 5 2/3 innings pitched for Mitchell Bales. 4 runs surrendered, 3 walks. Make it a full 6 as Carroll throws it across the diamond for out number 3. It's another 1-2-3 for Mitchell Bales. Make it 3 straight zeros on the board for the night starter. Brody Carroll made 2 outs in the top of the 6th, and he is looking to get a hit in the bottom of the 6th as he is the leadoff man for the Knights. He's hitting from the number 9 spot, so the leadoff man in the game, Maxwell Urena, is in the on-deck circle right now, and this could be a big inning for the Knights potentially. It is still a save situation as the final 3 innings are right around the corner. And the Knights would love to change that. Put some more distance between themselves and the Seahawks and make this a little less drama-filled in the later innings. Carroll watches it bounce to the plate as Broche had 3 straight strikeouts in the 5th, but running into a wall here to start in the 6th. And Carroll steps out almost immediately as he had the take sign on. Get me over pitch does find its way over. And Broche challenges Carroll on the next one. He sends it deep. Going, and just foul. Oh my goodness. The wind is blowing in that direction, so blame it on the wind, Mr. Carroll. He got a piece of it, almost all of it, and now he's taking a long walk back to the batter's box. Payoff pitch coming up. And Carroll goes down as Broche paints the corner. 4 straight strikeouts for the Seahawks reliever. Maxwell Urena now coming into the batter's box, 1 for 3 with an RBI. And trying to reverse that trend of 4 straight Ks. As Broche bounces one to the plate. He has made it 2 straight nights in the inning to start with the 1-0 advantage. Breaks one through the zone as that was a beauty out of the hand of Broche. Maxwell Urena's seen it. Will he see it again? Broche broke a strike through the zone, tried to slide that one through the zone, and instead slid it through the left-handed batter's box. Urena, 2-1 count. And that one is just a fuzzball blown right by Urena. We're even again at 2-2. And not going down on strikes there. Urena, cooler heads prevailed. Didn't bring the barrel around. And as umpire said, that was smart. Here's another payoff pitch. And that one is out of the zone. The strikeout streak comes to an end, and it brings Jimmy Perez up to the plate. Jimmy Perez coming into this game in the 2 games versus Cecil this year. 8 at-bats, 3 runs, 3 hits, 3 RBIs. Looking to come up big for his team right here as Broche bends another beauty through the strike zone. Some warm-up action taking place once again in the Seahawks bullpen. And now for the first time in the Knights bullpen. Perez down to his last strike. Urena still standing at first base, so Perez wants something he can elevate. Does not want to hit it on the ground. And he avoids hitting it on the ground as it's over the cage and out of play. Perez staying alive. And avoiding the junk. And Urena is in at second standing. That one started low and finished even lower. And with Urena stealing second base, out the window goes the potential inning-ending double play. And that is out the window and over the head of the catcher. Urena takes third. Another run 90 feet away. And head coach O'Connell comes out, wants to talk things over with Jimmy Perez and Maxwell Urena, who runs over to his head coach. Oh my, this is a big spot in the game. "7-4 is our score right now. It's a 3-run game. The Knights may be adding to that just a bit. Perez elevates it high. Urena goes to tag, and the center fielder does not make the catch. Stala bounces right in front of him. Perez is in there with a triple. An RBI triple for Jimmy Perez. And the Seahawks outfielders tracked that one beautifully. I was sure that they were going to get to it, but it just bounces in front of them at the warning track. They needed another half a second. And now that step they took on the comeback trail has been erased. The Knights are up 4 once again, and maybe adding to it as that one is to the warning track again. Perez tags up, and he will score easily. 2 runs now in the 6th for the Knights. And oh my, just like that, the weather changes again. Oh, the rain is starting to come down as the runs are coming down for the Knights. We're going to continue play here for now, but we will see for how much longer. 2 outs now in the inning. And the rain, we thought we were going to be able to avoid it here in this game, but it does seem inevitable as it has been a rainy day all day around town. And oh my, when it rains, it pours. The 6th inning is not going the way the Seahawks were hoping. And now a quick break in the action as we have a meeting of the minds taking place on the hill. The coach doesn't come out, so it is still Brocious' ball right now, as it is now a 9-4 game. Justin Cook just walked a moment ago, so Connor Bailey is now taking some swings, or getting ready to take some swings in the batter's box. And there goes Cook making the break, and he's in safely as the high throw brought the second baseman off of the bag. And even though the ball probably beat the runner by half a step, that high throw is all that Cook needed to get under the tag. Connor Bailey singled to the left side, brought home 3 runs back in the 2nd. He has been a huge part of the Knights, coming alive defensively and offensively, as he was a part of a big double play ball that kept the Knights in the game and in a manageable spot. He's looking to come alive offensively here once again. Broche finds the strike zone. Bailey twirling that bat, waiting for the next pitch. Finally sees it, and it's out of the zone. It's 2-2 to Bailey at the plate. 2 outs in the inning, 2 runners on, or excuse me, just 1 runner on. And it's a chopper back to the pitcher, and he'll take it on the soft toss. 3 outs in the inning now, but damage done in a big way for the Knights, as it is 9-4 now on the big board. Seahawks down to their last 9 outs. Rain is still coming down here at the castle, but it has slowed down just a little bit. Top of the 7th is here. Casey Parsons is pitching now for the Knights. The day is done for their starter, Mitchell Bales. 6 innings, gave up 7 hits, 4 runs, issued 4 walks, but got 3 strikeouts. And most importantly, he set his team up and himself up to get the win. Top of the 7th is here, Casey Parsons dealing with Chris Woods. Woods is the DH, and he was the pitcher for this Seahawks team. And he's hitting from the number 2 spot in the lineup, so it's 2, 3, 4. And these 3 gentlemen have 3 hits between them. The Seahawks have their backs firmly pressed up against the wall in this win-or-go-home matchup with the Knights. First round of the Region 20 Division II playoffs is here. One of these 2 teams is going to be moving on to play some games over the weekend. And one of them will be going home and hoping that there's maybe something after the Region 20 tournament. One of the bitter realities of this part of the season at this level is there are players out there right now who may be playing in their final collegiate game. Everybody always hopes and wants that scholarship opportunity to a four-year school at the end of their 2 years at community college. Doesn't happen for everybody. Chance to play the game could be coming to an end here today. Emotions high. Regardless, at this point in the seasons, emotions that much higher when you're playing for a chance to continue to play. Hope staying alive here for now with the Seahawks as they get a leadoff walk. Parsons loses the 7-pitch battle to Woods, and now he will start a new battle with Tyler Berger, as Berger is looking to elevate something. Parsons is looking to get that weak contact as the Knights want their third double play of the day. And that's up the middle. Holland has it on the knees. A loud out off the bat of Berger as he hit that one right to the Knights center fielder. Ethan Holland has to drop down to his knees to catch that one as it was dying on him. But the out secured for the Knights. Still searching for that double play, and it could be an inning-ending double play now. And Parsons aware of that just like we are as he is trying to keep that runner as close to first as he can. Justin Weaver is 1 for 2 with an RBI. Weaver is in the batter's box right now, and he is swinging to change the game with one swing. Weaver got a big hack in there, but couldn't get the barrel on it. He's down 0-1 to start. And now it'll move to 1-1 as Parsons can't get him chasing. Seems like the rain has stopped here at the castle, and I knocked on wood just to make sure that stays the case. The storm clouds are still above us, and the breeze is picked up a little bit as the drama is starting to build once again. The Seahawks are holding on to hope and trying to build on it. But Casey Parsons has other ideas on the mound as he comes to the plate with a beauty. Paints the corner. Weaver, chopper, over the third baseman's head, and that's fair. Perez quickly gets it in. But the Seahawks are able to go first to third, and now they're at the corners with one out. "9-4 is our score right now on the big board, but the Seahawks are trying to take a step on the comeback trail right now. Though I guess at this point in the game, down 5 runs and down to their last 8 outs, that comeback trail may be looking like a mountain. But you climb a mountain the same way you walk the trail, one step at a time. Can the Seahawks take that first step right here? A run 90 feet away. 2 outs to work with in the inning, but Parsons coming to the plate with a beauty. Big pop off the mitt there as he's dealing with Franco Raposo. Raposo is 2 for 3 with 2 RBIs. And his third RBI is 90 feet away, potentially. I'm sure if you asked him, he feels like he can taste it. Franco's down to his last strike now. Potential inning-ending double play right there in front of the Knights still with the runners at the corners. Carroll and Arena very much aware of that in the middle of the infield as they're at double play depth. Franco fouls one down the third base line as Parsons comes to the plate with another beauty. Parsons is dealing right now, trying to deal his way out of this jam. And he does not get the friendly call from the umpire. Very close to the outside portion of the zone, but just outside, says the umpire. Good eye from Franco. And again, good eye. They have the appeal down to the umpire to see if he went. And he was able to control the barrel. It is even now at 2 apiece. Franco Raposo staying alive, refusing to swing at the junk. Does Parsons come back into the zone? 2-2 pitch, runners at the corners. And how about a payoff pitch? And how would you feel if the rain started again, as once again we are drizzling here at the Castle? Franco Raposo down the left field line. Perez can't get to it in time. 1 run scores. Here comes a second. And Carroll can't get the transfer down for the throw to the plate. It is a 2-run double for Franco Raposo. He has 4 RBIs on the day. The catcher for the Seahawks is 3 for 4 with 4 RBIs. And oh my goodness, what a game. Mama, so you're saying there's a chance. Well, if you're a Seahawks player, coach, or fan, you've certainly got a chance. It is back to a save situation as it is 9-6 in the top of the 7th. And the Seahawks still have 2 outs to work with. Another runner in scoring position. And Franco will stay right there at second as it bounces in to the chest of William Hartman. He does a good job of blocking it, controlling the run game for now. It was raining on the pitching staff of the Seahawks in the bottom of the 6th. And now here in the top of the 7th, it's starting to rain on the Knights just a bit, literally and figuratively. Warm-up action taking place in both bullpens, though it just came to an end in the Seahawks pen. Parsons. And that one is off the bat and out of play. Parsons is dealing with Gio Malasala. Gio is 0 for 3. Trying to reverse that tough trend. And that one's off the glove of Hartman, but Seahawks don't want to run into any unnecessary outs on the bases. The fans are braving the weather, sticking with us through the elements as they want to see this game come to an end. Malasala sends it down the first base line, foul. Somebody's got to win this one, and somebody's got to lose it. Somebody's season is going to come to an end, and somebody's going to be playing some more baseball this weekend. Who's it going to be? The Knights are set up right now to be that team, but the tying run is now coming to the plate for the Seahawks. Top of the 7th, 1 out, 2 runners on. And a timeout taken on the field as Christian Crutch will be the next batter for the Seahawks. Crutch is batting from the 7th spot. So the Knights really want to get out of this 7th inning right here, right now. Do not want to give the top of the lineup a chance to come up with runners on and really break this game open. And Crutch will actually not be batting for the Seahawks. Instead, it's Andrew Baldani. No, not that one. No, his name's Justin. I forgot. Andrew swings at the first one he sees and watches the next one bounce to the plate, and the Seahawks not trying to test the arm of William Hartman. They must have read the scouting report. The Knights, they throw the ball well from behind the plate. Here's the 1-1. Parsons watches it move to 2-1 as he just misses the bottom portion of the strike zone there. The sun is starting to shine on this game once again, but the rain is still coming down. And that one finds the hole. Perez looks to quickly get it in, and he does. So everyone just moves up one. But the tying run is now on base for the Seahawks. The bases are loaded with one out. Andrew Baldani, the pinch hitter for the Seahawks, did the job as he found the hole in between second and third. And now everybody talking strategy here. The first and third base coaches talking to everybody who's on for the Seahawks, and a meeting of the minds on the hill with the white jerseys. We have warm-up action taking place in the bullpen. But this is still Parsons' game right now. As there has been no meeting coming from the dugout. So he still has, oh no, the coach is out there, excuse me. I didn't see the coach take the mound originally, so it is still Parsons' game, but the next meeting from the coaching staff will bring a new pitcher, potentially. It looks like a pinch runner will go over to first for the Seahawks as well, as he is potentially the tying run. Silver lining in all of this for the Knights right now is they're one pitch away from getting out of this inning if they could find their third double play ball. Hunter Sipple is the second straight pinch hitter for the Seahawks as they look to keep their season alive. They've kept hope alive and gotten this game back to a save situation. They're looking to take another step on the comeback trail. Bases loaded, one out. Hunter Sipple in a 2-0 hole, or in a 2-0 advantage. And that one breaks its way through, but not through the zone. Good breaker from Parsons, but he's in the hole 3-0. Looking for the get-me-over pitch. And he does find its way through the zone. Take sign a race, though, I'm sure, for Sipple, as it's now 3-1. And that one skied high, carrying, going, back, and it's right in front of the warning track. Perez quickly gets it in, and 2 runs score. It is a 2 RBI single into left center. And the tying run is in scoring position now for the Seahawks with still just 1 out. And that ball hanging up there in the air for as long as it did was the reason why those runners only advanced just 1 and 2 bases. The man in between first and second, he was stuck in animation there, thinking that Perez or Holland were going to get to it. Instead, it does touch. 2 runs are up there on the board once again for the Seahawks. The tying run is at second base as a new pitcher is coming into the game for the Knights. Diego Garcia is pitching now for the Knights. Seahawks started the 7th down to their last 9 outs and down 5 runs. And, well, now they're down to their last 8 outs and down only 1 run. And that 1 run has moved to third base now as Garcia watches the first pitch he throws get under the glove of Hartman. And now the tying run is 90 feet away, and the potential go-ahead run right behind him at second base. Oh, my goodness. The teeter-totter game, the seesaw battle continues. We had a feeling before the game started that it was going to come down to the end, but we had no idea just how right we were. Garcia battles back and gets it to even. There is just 1 out in this inning, and Garcia now has 2 strikes on Ben Campbell. So a strikeout would be huge here for the Knights. Can Diego Garcia give it to him? He can! Gets the called third strike. A huge out for the Knights. Garcia grabs the bottom portion of the strike zone for out number 2. But now the top of the lineup is here for the Seahawks. Cooper Stala is 0 for 2. The tying run is 90 feet away. Can he put his hero pants on for his team? Seahawks now down to their last 7 outs. The Knights Their backs firmly pressed up against the wall here in the 7th. Garcia gets a big swinging strike on Stala. Here's the 1-1 count. Who's going to grab the advantage? And it'll go the way of the Knights as Garcia is looking for his 2nd straight strikeout. Knights shortstop Brody Carroll letting them know they got 2 outs, and that is a sigh of relief. There's out number 3. 2 strikeouts for Diego Garcia, and the Knights still up in this game, but now by the smallest of margins, just 1. Rafael Castillo is 1 for 3, and he's gone down on strikes twice. He is the leadoff man in this inning, as this game has taken a turn once again. But this time, it's in the direction of the Seahawks. John Smith is pitching now for the Seahawks. So Castillo is the first one to see him. Changes all over the diamond for the Seahawks as they had a couple of pinch hitters and runners in the top of the 7th. Castillo is the DH today for the Knights, and he's hitting from the 6th spot in the lineup, so it's 6, 7, and 8. And he is the only one of those 3 men to have a hit so far today. Castillo right back up the middle, and it's a leadoff single. The sophomore playing in his final game here at the Castle. Coming up big for his team with 2 hits. None bigger than that one as the Knights try and put that nightmare top of the 7th behind them. Put some more distance between themselves and the Seahawks. William Hartman 0 for 2 with an RBI. And he went down on strikes once as well. It's his job to elevate something and move Castillo into scoring position, as Castillo will move himself into scoring position on the pass ball. Wonder if that changes Hartman's at-bat a little bit, as he was showing bunt a moment ago. And now Castillo in second on his own. Does Hartman have the swing sign now? I would guess that the bunt sign's still on, because if you want to move him over to second, why don't you want to move him over to third? You got those 3 outs to work with. And Hartman not showing bunt there, but maybe he thought that was a ball all the way. Catches the top of the knee and the inside portion of the strike zone. That was a beautiful pitch from Smith. Castillo does not want to get caught leaning one direction, and he goes on the bunt, and he's in with no problem whatsoever. Oh my, and he runs into a pickle, and he is out at the plate. Hartman is safe at second. That was a cheeky play from the third baseman. Heads up defense from the Seahawks as he really just baited Castillo into that move. Oh my goodness, blink and you missed it. What a moment. Oh, that was a huge play defensively for the Seahawks. Castillo with a good slide into the plate to still try and make it difficult, but the damage done. Or maybe the damage erased, I should say, as Hartman looks like he needs to take a breather. Or maybe he doesn't need to, but his teammates want to see him take one. Or more accurately, the coaching staff wants to see him take one. As Hartman well, his day's over, as a pinch runner will come in and take over his spot at second. Third baseman Jackson came in as a pinch hitter. That was the first ball that has been hit in his direction all day long, and he came up huge for the Seahawks. Erasing a potential runner. Securing an out for the Seahawks here in the bottom of the 7th. Becker is the pinch runner for Hartman. And that one is off the bat and foul. My goodness, what a moment, as that was really a perfectly executed bunt down the third base line for Hartman. The breaks of the game are going in the Seahawks' direction right now. The Knights trying to reverse that. And there will be no throw as Becker is back. Seahawks trying to control the run game, trying to keep this game right where it is. A one-run game here in the bottom of the 7th. Ethan Holland is 0 for 2. He's in the batter's box right now. He is hitting from the 8th spot, and he's down to his last strike. He calls for time. Fans are on the edge of their seat. You can cut the tension with a knife right here at the Castle. Playoff baseball. Living up to the hype, the 4-5 matchup between the Seahawks and the Knights. Two teams that have been about as evenly matched all season long. They played 2 doubleheaders this year, and they split them both. And the playoffs, well, it's coming down to the wire. Who's going to get the best of who here today? Who's going to come out on top, not just in this matchup, but this season, between the Seahawks and the Knights? Holland is refusing to go down on the junk. A good eye for him. And he goes down on the outside portion of the zone there as a beauty of a pitch from Smith catches the black of the plate. And you see the frustration clear on Holland's face as he thought it was going to go the other way. Umpire says nay, nay. Brody Carroll now hitting with a runner in scoring position. And the catcher does a good job of blocking that ball and keeping it right in front of him. And Becker has no chance to advance over to third. 2 outs now in the inning. Top of the lineup for the Knights in the on-deck circle. Searching for some 2-out magic, and finding it as Becker is going to the plate. So is the throw, and it's cut off by the cutoff man. An RBI single for the number 9 hitter, Brody Carroll. The shortstop for the Knights coming up big, as there's now just a little bit of space between the Seahawks and the Knights. They were up by 1, and now they're up by 2. Searching for some more 2-out magic. Here comes Maxwell Urena. Maxwell Urena is 1 for 3 today. And he's brushed off the plate just a little bit. Bottom of the 7th continues here for the Knights. But for how much longer? They were able to toss the baton down 1. They were able to turn the lineup over and give Maxwell Urena a chance to hit with someone on. The Knights were able to at least grab 1 in this inning that looked like they were going to have to settle for none for a moment. And that leadoff single from Castillo up the middle feels like a lifetime ago in the bottom of the 7th. We're still very much in the bottom half of the 7th. And the Knights searching for more offense. Maxwell Urena down to his last strike. The Knights are down to their last out here in the 7th. Runner at first. Maxwell waits for the pitch and does not get the call. John Smith, that is. He doesn't get the call. He breaks that one off and through the plate, but not through the strike zone. Maxwell fights off another one as that's a single to right. And the inning will continue here in the bottom of the 7th. The Knights stringing together some hits, 2 in a row. As now it's Jimmy Perez's turn to try and make it 3 straight hits. Jimmy Perez is 1 for 3 with 2 RBIs. His 3rd RBI is standing at second base, potentially. He can visualize it. He can see it. Can he make it come true? Jimmy Perez, 2 outs, 2 runners on. The Knights up by 2. And what a catch by Weaver! The Seahawks first baseman gets the mitt on it just in time and saves a run from coming on the board for the Knights. But some damage done in the inning as it is now a 2-run game. The Knights still holding on to this one. Cameron Brewer is doing the catching now for the Knights, as William Hartman, his day came to an end as Becker pinch ran for him at second base. Ended up coming around to score, so that was a big situation for the Knights as Zayas gets out number one in the eighth. It is one pitch, one out for Diego Garcia in the top of the eighth, and he'll live with that math. So will the coaching staff, of course, as well. Diego Garcia came in and got two big outs for his team and kept the Knights up by one. His boys spotted him one more run in the bottom of the seventh, so now he's got a little bit of a cushion between himself and the Seahawks, as it is a save situation for Diego Garcia. Parsons came in as a reliever in the seventh. It didn't go his way. Garcia picked him up in a big spot as the Knights were able to get out of the seventh still with the lead. So Bales is still in a spot to get the W in this playoff matchup between the Seahawks and the Knights. The Seahawks, by the way, now down to their last four outs as they make two quick, loud outs here in the eighth. Dealing with Diego Garcia and trying to figure him out, as Garcia is dealing right now. Justin Weaver is in an 0-2 hole as Garcia has thrown nothing but strikes here in the eighth. And there's the door slamming on the eighth. 1, 2, 3 for the Knights, and a big zero, as it'll be a save situation when they come back in the ninth, unless they're able to get a few more runs on the board. That trifecta. Eduardo Zayas is in the batter's box right now. 4, 5, and 6. Excuse me, let me try that one more time. 3, 4, 5 is due up for the Knights here. Eduardo Zayas 1 for 3 with an RBI. Also went down on strikes. He's seeing John Smith, I believe, for the first time today, as Smith came in as a reliever in the bottom of the seventh. Zayas swinging at that one, and he will be in the 1 and 2 hole. As the Knights watch the Seahawks make this a one-run game in the top of the seventh, but they were able to grab one of those runs back in the bottom half. give themselves just a little bit of breathing room. And we have got 3 different opinions on where that ball went. As the umpire says foul, he's getting a long look from the third base coach, so I think he thought it went fair, and I know the man in the batter's box certainly thought it went fair as well. Oh, my. Eduardo Zayas takes the long walk back into the batter's box. And that one, no doubt it's in fair territory, but it's into the glove of the shortstop for out number 1. So the Knights could be swinging the bats for the final time in this game, and maybe for the final time in front of the fans here at the Castle, hoping it's the final time, as they don't want to come back out for the bottom of the 9th. They want to finish this game and move on to the weekend. Have a small celebration here today on the win in round 1, potential win in round 1, and then move that focus on to round 2 and what could be in the matchup that may be in front of this team come this weekend. Still some work to be done. Seahawks are down to their last 3 outs. And you know they are going to be swinging for the fences on those 3 outs. Part of why the Knights, I'm sure, would love to get some more runs here in the bottom of the 8th and put some more distance between themselves and the Seahawks. A 2-run lead is good. It's certainly better than a 1-run lead, but no one's feeling good about that going into the 9th. They would love to make this no longer a save situation. It's 2-0 to Justin Cook right now. And Cook fouls one down the third base line. No doubt about that one. And Cook will take his base as it's a walk. Another inning for the Knights with someone reaching base, as it has been a lot of action on the bases for the Knights today. Justin Cook tosses the baton down to his friend Mason Becker. Mason's getting his first swings in today. And that one shot down the line and left. That's fair. Cook is taking, and he will be in standing at third. And excuse me, that was Connor Bailey. Thought Mason Becker would have to be swinging since he came in as the pinch runner, but Bailey's still swinging. And now it is Cameron Brewer. Of course, Cameron Brewer excuse me, it is not Cameron Brewer. It is Rafael Castillo, who is 2 for 4. He's looking to come up big for his team with 2 runners in scoring position. The infield is on the grass, ready to try and nag that runner at the plate if it comes down to it. There's 1 out, so Castillo would certainly love his 3rd hit of the game, but he would be happy with a sacrifice fly as well if he's able to score that run from third base. A little insurance run 90 feet away as Castillo goes up, 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 and to the warning track. That'll score one. The sophomore comes up huge for his team. Castillo with an insurance run. And now there are 2 outs. And my goodness, the fans were ready to come up and out of their seats as Castillo got so close to tagging that one up and out of the castle. Instead, it's the warning track power for the sophomore that scores the sacrifice fly. 2 outs now in the inning, and another run 90 feet away if the Knights can find another hit. Can they find some 2-out magic? Make this no longer a save situation going into the top of the 9th. Two pitchers now warming up, or excuse me, that's the pitcher and the pitching coach over there in the bullpen area for the Knights. Our math is never really to be trusted over here in the broadcast booth, but by our math, we counted 6 pitches for Diego Garcia in the 8th. So we'll see if we see him again in the 9th, or will it be a new pitcher to save this game and move the Knights on into the 2nd round. The Seahawks down to their last 3 outs and down 3 runs once again. The 9th inning is here, and Diego Garcia is on the mound once again for the Knights, trying to close it out. Franco Raposo is who he is dealing with first. A battle between Garcia and Raposo to start the 9th, and why not start things with Franco Raposo as the Seahawks try and keep hope alive. Franco is 3 for 4 with 4 RBIs. If anybody should be keeping hope alive for their squad, it's their catcher. Catcher for the Seahawks, looking more like Mike Piazza at the plate here today, as he has come up big for the Seahawks time and time again. They're trying to walk the comeback trail for the final time. Skied high up the elevator shaft, and there's Cook down the first base line for out number 1. And Franco makes only his 2nd out of the day, but it is a huge out for the Seahawks, as now they're down to their final 2 outs. Gio Malasala 0 for 3 with an RBI. So it's 5, 6, 7, the trio Up here for the Seahawks in the ninth, we saw number 5 already go down. And he was the only one of those 3 gentlemen with a hit so far today. Garcia, another beauty to the plate. He's got Gio down to his last strike. Garcia's looking for his 4th K. And he won't find it on that one as he tried to get him chasing the high cheese. Cooler heads prevailed. Can't win the game with one swing, so if it's high, why let it fly in a situation like that? He lets that one fly, and Zayas has it in right field, right next to the foul line. Now there are 2 outs in the inning. Seahawks down to their final out. Garcia, 1 out away from getting the save and pushing the Knights into the second round of the playoffs. The Knights were down 3 runs early in this round 1 matchup. They scored 7 runs and then watched the Seahawks answer with a few more runs of their own. The Seahawks at one point got it to a 1-run game but could not get it closer than that. Since then, the Knights have put 2 more on and put a little bit of distance between themselves and the Seahawks. Now, they're trying to slam the door on this round 1 matchup. The Knights were winners of 3 straight coming into this one, trying to make it 4 straight. What a time for the Knights to be playing their best ball as the postseason is here. Diego Garcia 2-1 now. Jimmy Garrett. And there it is! It was 2-2 apparently. Garcia goes down with the K as he gets the save, and the Knights get the round 1 matchup. My goodness, what a win here in round 1 for the Knights. It's a come-from-behind win, and they're able to hold on in the final innings as the Seahawks made it close, but could not walk to the end of the comeback trail. The Knights will have another game this weekend. If you want to watch that game, check out the CCBC Essex Athletics website for the time when that game will be posted. I'm not sure exactly when that game will be this weekend, but round 2 for the Knights will be this weekend. So check out that Essex Athletics website if you want to watch the game live and in person or on YouTube. Aaron Thomas for the final time today saying good afternoon, good evening, and good night, and the final time this season. That's all she wrote for the Athletics this year at CCBC Essex. Thanks for making it such an awesome season.